Good morning, children. Now let's recapitulate what we were discussing in the chapter Cell. Okay, we had already discussed in the last class regarding the discovery of cell, how it was discovered by Robert Hooke. We spoke about the cell theory, right? That is, the cell is the structural and functional unit, and it all develops from pre-existing cells. Okay, regarding that we had discussed, and we also discussed about the variation in cells on the basis of the number, size and shape. Okay. Now today we are going to study the structure of the cell. Okay. And under the structure, the three most important parts that are there is the cell membrane, or the outer covering of the cell, then the fluid filled inside the cell called as the cytoplasm, and we'll be studying about the different organelles present inside the cell. Let us first see what is a cell membrane, also called as the plasma membrane. Okay. Now, this is a membrane or an outer covering in the cell which is made up of phospholipid layer and also proteins. So it's a lipoprotein membrane, or a membrane made up of lipids and proteins, and it is a selectively permeable membrane. So that's another important term there. Selectively permeable means it's a membrane which permits or allows only certain substances, ions and organic molecules to pass through the membrane. It does not allow everything to pass through. Okay, it is selective in the permission, and also therefore because of this nature it regulates the movement of substances in and out of the cell. Okay. And the primary function of this membrane is to protect the cell from its surrounding medium. Okay. Then we come to the cytoplasm, which is the fluid jelly-like substance present inside the cell. It is enclosed by the membrane, as we discussed just now, except for the cell nucleus. So the cytoplasm is present everywhere inside the membrane outside the nucleus. That means there is a nucleus, is a main structure inside the cell. So the cytoplasm is that part of this fluid which is present outside the nucleus and within the membrane. Okay? Because inside the nucleus there is a different fluid which is termed as the nucleoplasm. It is a little denser compared to cytoplasm. Okay? Cytoplasm is about 80% watery and usually colorless. Now, as we spoke about the cell membrane, there is another outer covering present in the plant cells, which is called as the cell wall. So in case of plant cells, we have two coverings. Okay, one is the cell membrane, which we said was selectively permeable, okay, and made up of lipids and proteins. And outside this, there is another covering termed as the cell wall. Now, this is made up of cellulose and is a permeable membrane. Okay, so now let's see how the two are different, because the cell wall is not present in the animal cell. Okay, so the cell membrane, as we said, is present in all the cells. Every cell, whether it's a plant or an animal cell, has a cell membrane, whereas in case of plant cells only, we have an extra structure called the cell wall. The cell membrane is made up of lipids and proteins, whereas the cell wall is made up of cellulose, which is a carbohydrate, a complex carbohydrate. Okay. Cell membrane is a semi-permeable membrane, as we discussed, that it selects the materials. Semi-permeable, also termed as selectively permeable, because there is a discretion and it allows only certain substances to pass through the membrane. Whereas cell wall is a permeable membrane. It allows everything to pass through. Okay. Therefore, this is a living membrane and cell wall is non-living, because that regulatory feature is not there. Okay. Now let's see the structure of the nucleus, which I told you is the main, you can say, central hub of the cell, or the central controlling center of the cell. Okay, This nucleus is made up of a double walled, you can see this wall, it's a double walled membrane with pores in between. There's a nuclear pore in between through which materials move in and out of the cell. Okay. Apart from that, inside the nuclear membrane, there is another fluid that is filled, which we discussed in the previous slide, and that is nucleoplasm. Now, compared to the cytoplasm, nucleoplasm is a little more dense. Okay. Now, in the nucleoplasm, we have two main structures which are embedded, and that is the nucleolus and the chromatin fibers. Okay. Now, this nucleolus is a structure which does not have a membrane as such. It is just very rich in RNA molecules, and it is a factory that produces a cell organelle termed as ribosomes, which we'll be studying when we discuss about the organelles. Okay, so nucleolus is very rich in RNA. RNA is ribonucleic acid. It's a nucleic acid. Okay, and it helps in the formation or production of ribosomes. Chromatin fibers are the fibers which are again very rich in another nucleic acid, that is DNA, termed as the deoxyribonucleic acid. Okay, and this forms the chromatin fibers. Now this is a fibrous situation. Okay, but after some time, when the cell is dividing, that time they shorten. Okay, and they are termed as the chromosomes. So chromosome and chromatin fiber is the same thing. They are made up of DNA molecules. What is the main function of this chromatin fiber or chromosome? It is that it carries the genetic information that is necessary for the cell to retain its character, to perform all its functions. So for all this, there is you can say a hub of all information, okay, which is present in this chromatin material, and this is the main controlling center, therefore, because it has all the instructions as to what the cell is supposed to do. Okay, and that we term as the genetic information. Now, as we discussed just now, that nucleus is the main control center of the cell. But all cells do not have the nuclear material surrounded by a nuclear membrane that we saw in the previous slide. Okay, so in some cells, the primitive cells, the nuclear material is there. That means the DNA, RNA, everything is there. But it is not bounded by a separate membrane or a separate covering. So such type of cells are termed as prokaryotic cells. Means karyotic means nucleus and pro means primitive. So it's a primitive nucleus, okay, which does not have the nuclear material enveloped in a membrane. Whereas those cells that have the nuclear material, that is the DNA and the RNA, enclosed in a membrane, as you saw just now, is termed as the eukaryotic cells. Now let us see how the two are different. In case of prokaryotic cells, see, first we will go to the similarity that both are found in the cells, different types of cells, and they both contain DNA. But the difference being, in case of prokaryotic cells, generally found in the unicellular organisms, not in the multicellular organisms, whereas eukaryotic is found in the multicellular and some unicellular. Prokaryotic cells are smaller compared to the eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells do not have any organelle which is membrane bound. Okay, there's no membrane on the organelles, whereas eukaryotic cells have membrane bound organelles. So prokaryotic, as I told you, genetic information is just simply floats in the cell. It is not covered by an envelope. Whereas in case of eukaryotic cells, the genetic information is enclosed in a membrane. Examples we'll see of prokaryotic is bacteria and archaebacteria. That's a primitive bacteria. Whereas in case of eukaryotic, you can find from algae onwards, all the higher animals and plants, they have eukaryotic cells. Now this is the structure of a prokaryotic cell, where you can see there is a nuclear envelope all around. Okay, they have different organelles also, mitochondria and many other which will be studied. Whereas this is a prokaryotic cell, where this is just a nucleoid, meaning the nuclear material that is floating in the cytoplasm here. It is not having any organelle as such. Now we end with another question here, that is, what is the importance of this DNA in our body? We studied just now that in the nucleus there is a DNA material, okay, or DNA molecule present as in the chromatin fibers. Now, what is the importance of this DNA in our body? It carries the hereditary information from the parents to the offspring. It is because of this DNA molecule that the children resemble their parents. Okay, you look somewhat like your parents. It is because of the DNA molecules that carry the information from the parent to the child. Okay. Now with this we come to the end of this today's class. We'll be continuing in the next class with the organelles.